In a world where we're playing Steins Gate right now, and what happened in the last episode probably isn't that important. It is, but I'm not gonna go over it because I really don't feel like it. Now, back to the story.
I've seen this Upa somewhere before, says Suzuha. She'd seen it before? Said the narrator. She couldn't really remember when, but her initial alarms were going off. This keychain was extremely important. Whose is it? Is it Kaguri's? We don't know. Are we gonna have a fight with her? We don't know. Are we gonna be topless? We don't know. What? These are the questions. We don't know them because we haven't ever played through this before, so we don't know them. Sadly. Upas were common enough that you could find them anywhere. The plastic edges had worn down. The paint was faded and coming off of it in places. But there was no dust and there were no stains. Instead, it shone brightly. And if its owner had put a lot of effort into taking... And if its owner had put a lot of effort into taking care of it, well, then what? Oh, as if. I'm an idiot, guys. I apologize deeply. I may have made the same mistake the first time around. I can't remember. I know I made a mistake reading this the first time around, somewhere. The chain was so old that part of it had snapped off. That was probably how it got dropped. Where? Where could it have been that we have seen this item before? Maybe it was on the otherworld line. She stared at the green Upa in Daru's hands. I hate doing this. And then, in her mind, she heard a young girl's scream. Aw, that's so adorable. Mayori's adorable, but I hate Kagari. She gasped. A feeling of indescribable terror raced down her spine. And the thing is, I don't even like Kagari's character normally anyways. I feel like she has served no point. Like what has she done? What has she done for us? Absolutely nothing. That was when she'd last seen it. August 13th, 2036. And the day she'd gone into the time machine. That's when she'd seen this Upa. It was older and more worn now, but the more she remembered that day, the more certain she became. This was the Upa that Mayori had given to Kagari. She'd seen Kagari holding it and crying to herself many times before.
Kagari ってもしかして未来のマユシの娘？見つかったん？
いや、でも向こうはこっちを認識しているんだ。
つまりどういうことだってば？
あいつこのラボを監視してるんだよ。
Oh no! Satisfied, she headed off to take a shower. Ever since then, her careful efforts to defend the time machine had paid off, and she hadn't seen any sign of Kaguri, but she never thought she'd be watching the lab.
いや、ちょっと考えれば当たり前のことだったんだ。あいつは私たちがシュタインズゲートに到達するのを阻止しよう。この世界をなかったことにしたくないと思ってる。
I know, she's only stopping us. She's really annoying.
ということは、私だけじゃなく、父さんもマークされてる。
え？僕？
I think I had a problem with this last time too, but I didn't mention it or anything. I don't remember. But it said, satisfied, she headed off to take a shower. As if the transition just happened and she went to go do that. But then it comes right back to doing this. She's talking to Daru, which doesn't make any sense because it says she went off to go take a shower. And she hasn't done that yet. And I know why. I know you may be thinking maybe, like, if you haven't seen the other ending, you're maybe thinking, well, maybe she, like, already took the shower and then she came back and started talking to Daru again. She hasn't, unless she's taking 2 showers. Unless she takes this shower, and then after this conversation she's about to have, she takes another shower, which wouldn't make any sense whatsoever.
まあ父さんの命に危険はないとは思うんだ。世界線の摂理を信じるなら、父さんは少なくとも2036年まではただシュタインズゲート到達を阻止するために父さんの研究の邪魔はしてくるかもしれない。
A lot of bad things have been happening around Suzuha, Daru, and Okabe Rintaro. There were some possibility that the final target was Daru.
これからは用心のために、私がいない時には必ずドアに鍵をかけておいて。
わかったよ。
オカリンおじさんや母さんやマユ姉さんたちが一緒にいても絶対に開けっぱなしはダメだよ。気休めかもしれないけどドアチェーンもかけた方がいい。
でもさ、オカリンやマユシならともかく、アマネシと二人きりの時にそんなことしたらなんか別の意味で怪しくね。アマネシに変な誤解されないかな。
それは確かに。
We're saying the exact same words, but we can't skip it.
もしそれで嫌われでもしたら我が家のピンチだお。
Suzuha groaned softly, unsure of what to do.
父さんがもっと早く母さんと恋人になってれば何の問題もないのに。
で、結局そこへ話が戻るとか？
Yeah, that's the problem here, Daru.
とにかく注意だけはしておいてよね。
Yeah, just be careful. The weirdo. Suzuha decided to keep the green Upa keychain. She softly ran her fingertips over it as she stared at it.
なあ鈴葉、かがりたんって血はつながってないけどマユシの娘なんだよね。
そうだよ。
あのマユシに育ててもらった子が人を襲うような恐ろしい人間になるのかな。
Apparently so.
なんか鈴葉の話とイメージが重ならないっつうか、もっと優しくてホワホワしてて可愛い女の子になってるんじゃないかなとか思ったり。
She used to be, but now she's a bee.
だとよかったんだけど。私も前はそうなると信じてたけど、今のかがりは多分
Annoying. From what she'd seen at the radio building, she could tell Kagari had definitely received professional combat training. It wasn't just the simple self-defense techniques that she learned from Suzuha when she was a child. As she'd grown up, she'd been taught the cold techniques of a killer. There was no way to know where she'd been or what she'd been doing ever since she'd gone missing in 1998. But there was no doubt in Suzuha's mind that she was trying to ruin her plans. What? She took 2 showers? That's really weird. Suzuha sighed as she took her shower. But, I thought, I wanted to go check it again just to make sure I didn't read it wrong, because it's highly annoying that it would have it 2 times, just for no reason. Like, this is so, oh my god, there's so much talking. They talked so much. And we had to see this again and again. Okay, never mind. I skipped some of it. Probably common enough. Where was it? I don't know. It says, satisfied, she headed off to take a shower. Who? Who is she? Like, she didn't go take a shower right then, and please explain this to me. Like, if anyone can, or if it's just like an error in the translation or something. It makes absolutely no sense. Like, it's not even like those lines where it was like, where it called Daru a her by accident. It's a full line of something that makes no sense at all. It's a full line that just doesn't need to be there. Like, and the next sentence also doesn't correspond with the shower thing. She like relieved to go to the shower. It just didn't happen. That just didn't happen unless she's talking to Daru in the shower that whole time. Suzuha sighed as she took her shower. Since it was summer, she'd set the water temperature low. It was barely any hotter than tap water. And I know what you guys must be saying. He's already been through this. Why is he talking so much if he wants to get over with it really quickly? It's because I find more errors the more I go through the game. As long as the water was pouring down on her, she could feel like all the bad memories were being washed away. She slapped her cheeks with both hands and turned off the water. The small tiled room suddenly became quiet. Oh, have we seen this before? No, this is totally new. In the silence, she vigorously toweled off her hair. The building was never intended for anyone to live in. Not only was there very little room, there wasn't even a place to change. You know what I should do? I should just get the old, not even voice this. I should just get the old video and just play it over here. That's what I should do. Instead of like recording this again, I can just skip this stuff. Nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that much effort. It was small and there were no windows, and the steam from the shower room built up. The steam from the shower room built up, making it an unpleasant sauna in summer. Suddenly, supposedly, Daru and Okabe would sit naked next to the fans to get away from the heat and moisture. Of course, that was only when the girls, as well as Luka Urishibara, weren't around. But Suzuha couldn't do that. There were those huge scars on her chest. If she was careless and Yuki saw them, she'd have a big problem. So, she was always forced herself to change within the small space. Yeah, but no one's around right now. I hate this. The second she left the shower room, she realized something was wrong. Lights were often part behind the curtain where the lab room was. Hopefully something different happens in the fight, like they say something different or something. Because if this is completely the same exact scene, I'm going to be a little annoyed. She was sure she had left all the lab lights on when she'd gone to take a shower. She didn't remember turning them off. Still, completely naked, she flung open the curtain. She dropped to the floor, ready to move. She could tell by the light from the shower room that there was no one else there. She didn't hear any breathing, and she didn't feel any other presence.
父さんが一度戻ってきたのか。
And then, when he'd left, he'd turned off the lights? No, that couldn't be it. She looked around the room and saw the things had been moved in a way that an amateur wouldn't be able to notice. Which doesn't make any I hate when the game does this. I've only noticed it recently. Like this part, because I don't think it's done it much other than this right now and a little bit earlier on this part. It said, and then when he left, he turned off the lights. That is Suzuha, verbatim, what she's saying. I'm almost positive that's exactly what she's saying. No, that couldn't be right. Why would the narrator, this weird, odd presence that's here, say that? The narrator seems to narrate stuff from a second person point of view, kind of like it says she looked around the room, right? It's kind of like that. It seems like a second person point of view. So I'm not sure why the first part wasn't just voiced by Suzuha. Like, did they like add it later on and they were just like, well, we can't put it in the regular bubble because that's supposed to be voiced, and if we don't have it voiced, then it's just going to be weird. So we should just put it in the narrator slot, right? But that makes sense though, because if you think about it, maybe like before this happened, they were like, so when they were making the script to the game, they asked the voice actress for Suzuha to say, "Did Dad come back?" Because that's pretty much all she had to ask. They just put this in to clarify that, and then he turned the lights off. So maybe they like added this in after to be like, oh, maybe they don't know, maybe they weren't sure or not. So we should just put this in. I don't know. Okay. She looked around the room and saw that things had been moved in a way that an amateur wouldn't be able to notice. The audi's computer desk, the sofa area, the bookshelves, and even the mini kitchen, someone had gone through them all. From the look of it, the same was probably true for the development room. Suzawa glanced over all the areas where she kept her guns. The closet was the closest was the sofa she used as a bed. She wanted to have one easily accessible whenever she would be attacked when she was asleep. So she had cut out one of the cushions and she put a gun in there. It was just a .32 caliber for self-defense, so it wouldn't do much damage unless you had good aim, but it was a small and relatively quiet gun, so it was really good. Suzawa tensed all her muscles, coiling like a spring, and slowly moved towards the sofa without making a sound. As she did, she tried to notice any changes in the surrounding area. There was a small sound in the development room. It was a tiny, tiny creaking on the floor, which you usually pay no mind to, but Suzawa was trained, so she was good. In an instant, she moved towards action. With a quick face, she cleared the distance to the sofa in a single movement and quickly drew her gun. She held it ready and slipped into the shadow of the refrigerator. Sorry, guys. She moved from quiet to action. From this position, she could barely see into the development room. The room became silent. But this time the intruder in the other room didn't try to hide their presence.
おかしな真似をしたら撃つ。手を頭の上に。そのままゆっくり出てこい。
Suzawa threatened the intruder in a low voice, but the intruder seemed completely unconcerned as they exposed themselves to Suzawa's gaze.
この暑いのによくそんな格好をしていられるな。ヘルメットだけでも取ったらどうだ？
The intruder was wearing a motorcycle suit, just like before. Even the helmet was the same. The leather suit clung tight to their skin, revealing their big titties. It was clearly a woman.
あんたが探してるものだけどね。そこに私の服のポケットだ。
Suzawa pointed towards the entrance of the shower room. The shirt she'd just taken off was lying there on the floor. The girl in the motorcycle suit turned her head, but because the face mask was down, Suzawa couldn't read her expression.
なあ、落としたらダメじゃないか。ママからもらった大切なものだろ、かがり。
The second she spoke, Shina Kagari was the first to move. She drew a deglossed military knife that she must have been hiding behind her back, and closed the gap between herself and Suzawa in an instant. Suzawa pointed the gun at her legs and pulled the trigger, carefully aiming away from her vitals. Too bad there was nothing in the pistol. She heard the small pop of the suppressed .32 and saw Kagari lose her balance and fall. Or she thought she did, but it was a feint! Oh no, we never could have figured that out! Wait, what? It was a feint! I've never seen this before! She'd only pretended to lose her balance. In fact, she'd changed directions and was heading for the shower room. It seemed her first goal was to get what she came here for.
これは
After firing only one shot, Suzawa realized her .32 should have more recoil than this. She fired again, but Kagari didn't even flinch for a moment.
ブランクカートリッジ。
There's no bullets in this gun. At some point, all the bullets in Suzawa's gun had been swapped with blanks. That instant panic was all it took. Oh no, Suzawa! Kagari reached out for the shirt on the floor in front of the shower room. Hopefully, freaking Kagari doesn't cut me, and then I pin her down or anything. That'd be wild. And then I really tightly hold her arm, almost breaking it, like almost breaking her neck even. I think at one point. And then hopefully she doesn't say something, and then I would be like, oh no, let me lose my grip for a little bit. And then she gets up and like fights me. What? I really hope that doesn't happen. Oh no, what if that exact situation? Oh no, what if that happens? Oh god, I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I'll do, guys. Suzawa gave up on firing and flung the gun at Kagari. There was a dull thud as the hard barrel slammed into her neck. Fell off balance. She staggered before she could grab the shirt. Okay, my problem is I seem really upset, and I'm sorry guys for that. I apologize. But my problem is, Steins Gate did this infinitely better. At no point did Steins Gate, I mean, maybe like for like very, very solemnly, but did they have a point where you had to, and I mean had to go over the same stuff? Because I don't have to do this, but really I can't skip it. And in Steins Gate, I'm almost completely sure you can skip. Maybe I turned it on to where I didn't have to. But like, but in Steins Gate they didn't have new stuff like sprinkled in. Like in the true ending, they had new stuff sprinkled in like only because you had to like take the phone calls. But I have done what I needed to do to get to the true ending already. I'm almost completely sure. But they have like new stuff sprinkled in, and like I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. It's just a little upsetting that I have to like read the same thing again, and it's like the exact same thing. Like nothing has changed in this scene. She could hear Kaguri's voice for the first time from within the helmet. Suzuha jumped. Also, a big problem is Kaguri's voice in this game is really weird because at certain points, hers is the loudest voice in the game. And right now, when she's in this mask, hers is the quietest voice in this game. So it's highly annoying. She kicked the off-balanced Kaguri as hard as she could with her toned, muscled legs. This was no time to hold back. Kaguri went flying all the way to the edge of the room? That happened? I could have never guessed that. That had to have broken a few ribs, but she was coming back at her. Suzuha jumped towards her to continue her attack. But with terrifying speed, Kaguri leapt off the ground and charged at Suzuha. There wasn't enough time to come to a full stop. She got cut. What? I said that. I said something like that, didn't I? I said she got cut by the knife. Her blade swept by, mere centimeters from her exposed abdomen. If she pulled back even a few tenths of a second later, the knife would have fatally sliced open her gut.
Oh my!
The blood rushed to Suzuha's head. Kaguri was serious. She was planning to kill her. There was no hesitation in her movements. Suzuha leaped back and searched for something she could use as a weapon. But the other guns were probably no different. There was a good chance they'd all had their ammo swapped with blanks too. It was even possible that all her self-defense knives had been taken too. Which left? The kitchen knives. The boy guessed it! The boy guessed it! How'd he do it? How'd he do it? The boy wondered. There were several knives carefully stored in the kitchen. Yuki had brought them over to use for some teaching the girls how to cook. But Kaguri had known as well. Oh no, and she was moving to keep Suzuha from reaching them. But don't worry. It all ends well. Don't worry. Yeah. Used to be annoying in a different way. Suzuha kept her distance from Kaguri as she slowly moved out along the wall. Her competitive drive burned even brighter as she tried to come up with a way to overcome her disadvantage. She picked up her shirt from in front of the shower room and took the green keychain out of its pocket. Her fingers moved as if to crush it. You could see Kaguri twitch. For the first time, she could detect a hint of emotion beyond the helmet. And in an instant, she threw it at Kaguri's stomach. The keychain flew in a slow arc, like she was tossing it to a friend. If something they loved was thrown like that, even the fiercest warrior would instinctively reach out both hands to grab it. Kaguri was no exception. She carefully held her mother's memento in both her empty left hand and the right hand that still clutched the knife. Using the slow arc of the keychain as camouflage, Suzuha ran at her in a straight line. Her right fist connected hard with Kaguri's stomach. Then, her left arm smashed Kaguri's head to the side, killing her instantly. Kaguri's body fell to the ground, her right shoulder taking the brunt of the fall. Suzuha could hear The sound of her joint dislocated. The knife slipped from her grasp. Whoa, nice booty. Suzuha got behind her and mounted her, twisting her right arm mercilessly. Mounted her. At the same time, she slipped her own left arm around Kaguri's neck and squeezed hard. Wait, what? Guys. Wait, what? How did I guess? She could hear something like a moan from Kaguri's throat. She could both hear and feel the bones in her arm and neck crack and creaking. But Kaguri picked up the knife on the floor with her left hand and once again tried to use it on Suzuha. Suzuha was forced to squeeze her arm and neck even harder. But Kaguri didn't stop. If anything, she tried even harder to pull Suzuha away. Okay, for the love of God, I hope. Okay, guys, I don't know if this will. I have no clue if this will happen, but I really hope Kaguri doesn't say anything about her mom or something, and then Suzuha loosens her grip, and then Kaguri can get up. I really, guys, if that happens, I don't know what. Oh, and then later oh no, what if she gets behind Daru? Oh no, and holds a knife to his. Oh no, guys. Oh God. Oh, what if that happens? I mean, I don't even know. Will it? I don't even. Even in all the battles she'd been in, this much pressure on two different spots was enough to get even the toughest soldier to submit or fall unconscious. Terrified, Suzuha squeezed even harder. At this rate, she wouldn't simply knock her out. She really would kill Kaguri. But if she stopped, Kaguri would kill her. What should she do? Kill Kaguri. Kill her. Kill her. Kill her. Oh yeah, she says One-chan. Sorry, I thought it was something about her mom. Shut up. Do harder, now. Harder, because you heard her stupid, annoying voice. Then she heard her sad, weak voice. A sad, weak voice. Inside the helmet. Don't do it. It stalled her, and she relaxed both her arms. But that was just what Kaguri had hoped for. The knife came very close to cutting Suzuha's left arm. We could never seen that coming. When she let go to dodge it, Kaguri shook her off and kicked at her hips with both legs. I'll try to sound like super commentator. Suzuha was slammed back hard into the computer desk, and for a moment, she couldn't breathe. She fell to the floor, and the printer and the monitor crashed mercilessly into her naked body. It was pretty hot. You're fine. She forced herself to stand up, gasping hard as she did so. Kaguri's breathing was heavy, too. Her right arm was pointed in an impossible direction and hanging limp. She wouldn't be able to use it for a while. Probably. I mean, I don't know. I'm just a narrator. Her left arm was still holding in the knife. Those dirty tricks you use. How dare you? I mean, we're fighting. We're having, like, a fight to the death, but how dare you use dirty tricks? Ooh, messed up. Messed up, Kaguri. You can't do that. I fall for everything, even though I was in World War III. Even though I was fighting in the only thing I know is the war zone. But I trusted you with my life. Okay, Suzuha glared at Kaguri's face. Not that she could see what it looked like behind the helmet. The two of them fell silent as they tried to catch their breath. The tension in the air was so thick that it was difficult to move a muscle. Sweat rolled down her forehead and in her eyes. But she still didn't blink, as she waited for Kaguri to make her next move. What's gonna happen next on Dragon Ball Z? It was the sound of the front door opening to... No, not Daddy. Daddy.
Oi, Suzuha!
Suzuha felt a chill run down her spine when she heard Daru's voice. Daddy! She yelled at the exact same instant he turned on the lights. The sudden brightness was enough to make Suzuha flinch for an instant. Kaguri was wearing a full-face helmet, and then made all the difference. She leapt towards Daru just a moment before Suzuha. Okay. So let's talk about this. I didn't talk about this line the first time, but I don't think I did. but she's wearing a full face helmet. This helmet is tinted enough to where you can't see her face, and I don't think you can see her face in this lighting either. But it's tinted enough to where the sudden she has been in the darkness for a good while now, I'd say, and it is tinted enough to where when Daru turns on the lights, it didn't affect her. So how in the world could she see in this darkness with this tinted helmet on? Whatever. Kogami black knife went up to his. Oh no! I don't know what happened. What happened? Yeah. Don't worry, Daru. You live. You're fine. We get ice cream afterwards. Kogami spun around behind him, using Daru's huge body as a shield. Suzuha staggered towards him, gritting her teeth. You know, the voice is good the first time, but the second time I'm not as pumped hearing it. Okay, that was good. That was good. I got it. I like that. But Kogami remained silent as she headed outside the door with her hostage, and then in the next moment, she shoved him forward. Daru lost his balance and fell towards Suzuha. Suzuha fell to the ground underneath his weight. Daru just barely managed to support himself with his arms and legs to keep him from crushing her. Suzuha tried to shove him off, using a little more force than she may have intended. But Daru was so huge it would take him a moment to get up. She was getting away. She somehow managed to crawl out from under him and quickly tried to follow after Kogami. Daru was still lying on the ground as he tossed the naked Suzuha her shirt. He grabbed it and quickly put it on, then ran outside. But when she looked around the street, the girl in the motorcycle leathers wasn't there. There was no way to even know where she'd gone. So I'm gonna be really really lenient with the amount of minutes it was, because I'm gonna say maybe I talked for like 15 minutes, like of my own self, but or whatever, or you know the complications with the USB port as well were 15 minutes. So I've been recording for 35 minutes, and it has. So let's say that's like 20 minutes of actual like game. That means that. And this is only this scene right here, but none of it was changed at all in the true ending, and that means 20 minutes at least, and that's not even counting the other scenes that have happened that are the same as in the bad ending. At least are no different from the bad ending, and that's good if you're only supposed to do the good ending. That's good if the bad ending That's good if the bad ending led up to a certain point and then the good ending continues after that point. That's good then. But it's not good if the bad ending is something different. It's not good if you have to do the bad ending to get the most content out of the game. It's just not good. And I'm not blaming you guys for making me do the bad ending. I will blame you guys for making me do the bad ending if after the true ending I don't feel like the bad ending was necessary. I will blame you guys. 100% will blame you. No, do not deny. I'm believing you guys right now that it was worth it to do the bad ending. But currently, I am blaming the game for making something so repetitive. Like, it doesn't make any sense for this true end to be so repetitive of the bad end. Like in the original Steins Gate, I don't know. I think the original Steins Gate was infinitely better than this game so far. And it's not just because of this and doing the thing over again. It's also just because of the story. Like, and it was like, there wasn't much story in the first place to get. like for this game. So I mean, I commend them for like, you know, trying to make more and whatnot. And I you know, I'm always good with more Steins Gate. But and I mean, maybe the ending will change my opinion and everything. But all in all, Steins Gate was definitely not only a better made game, but also just a better story in general. And I think that's just because, you know, they had everything was fresh with Steins Gate, so they didn't have to hold, you know, they could just do anything with it. You know, obviously it's the original, so you're just gonna think it's better. But like, I don't know. Like, I obviously shouldn't be judging it right now since I haven't played all of it, and I will change. I may or may not change my opinion. Well, I definitely will. I will positively change my opinion at the ending, because the ending will either make me hate it or like it more, but I won't like it more than Steins Gate. I doubt it. I doubt there's any way the ending will make me like it more than Steins Gate, unless some weird thing happens where they have some. You guys told me though no extra things happen, so I doubt anything extra will happen where they have a good decent Okabe moment during the true end. I don't know. They might like randomly have it, which would be amazing, but I doubt it. So. And speaking of the first game, it also had like real endings. I feel like. Or like real visual novel endings, I feel, because each ending was with a different girl. Like you had it, like you were actually had the endings with a different girl each time. Like it was definitely Suzawa's ending. It was definitely Faris's ending. It was definitely Lukako's ending. It was definitely Mayori's ending. And it was definitely Kurisa's ending. You knew it. They were named something else, I think. I'm pretty sure. They were named other things, but you were for sure it was their ending. And on this, maybe you know, you don't want to repeat stuff and you don't want to like, but I don't know. The endings just haven't been as satisfying as and I think it's because like the first one put you through so much. Like I feel like it put you through so much more. Like there were endings where I actually got depressed and stuff. Like the Suzawa ending was like, ooh, that was a wild ride, right? And I keep bringing that up, but that was a crazy one. But like. This was just like, even the bad ending, I didn't get depressed at it. It wasn't really like depressing. It was just like, and even if it was depressing, only the ending was. Only the very end of it was where like Maho was like, ooh, I'm so sad. And then like Mayuri was supposedly dead. Like that's like the very end of it. But like other than that, it was fine. I shouldn't have talked. Why do I talk? It'd be dangerous to run around trying to find her now. There was a chance Daru would be attacked while she wasn't at the lab.
今のってまさかかがりたん?
Daru came outside as well.
多分間違いない。
そっか。
結局、あの子とはこうなっちゃうんだな。
The bruises and wounds were bad enough. The pain that ached in her heart was the worst of all.
私さ、あの子のことは本当に好きだったんだ。
うん。
小さくても勇敢で、まゆ姉さんを守るためにいつも頑張ってて、私もそんなあの子にいろいろなことを教えた。きっと妹みたいに思ってた。
うん。
けどあいつはもう完全に敵だ。
Daru straightened up her shirt sleeves.
今の鈴葉、なんかエロゲーの地上キャラっぽい格好になってる。
え？お
Suzawa was caught completely off guard. True, her t-shirt only came down to just below her hips, roughly the length of a miniskirt. The rest of her arm was completely bared. The shirt's hem was turned up, and she was felt exposed.
まあ僕は地上物も結構いける口なんで、乱れた裸 T シャツというのもありといえばありですが、むふー。
またそうやってふざける。大怪我してたかもしれないのに。
This is his way of dealing with it. You know that. Her daughter shook his head.
僕さ、さっきはナイフ見て騒いじゃったけど、でも怖がる必要なかったんじゃないかなって。あれがもし僕の聞き間違いじゃなかったら。
Daughter rubbed the part of his neck where the knife blade was.
ナイフを突きつけられてた時、ほんの少しだけど聞こえたんだよ。
何が？
彼女、多分泣いてた。
Good. Crying. Under that helmet? After the whole battle with Suzuha? Yeah. You like broke her arm. I was about to like snap her neck off. While holding a knife to Dotty's neck? But why? Why would she cry after all that pain happened to her?
だからさ、決めつけるのはまだ早いんじゃね？
No. No, she's true. Because the thing is, she might not be a bad person, but the thing is, she's trying to stop us from saving the world. So she's inherently a bad person. She may not be a bad person in her own mind, and she not be trying to be a bad person, but she's inherently a bad person because she's trying to stop us from saving the world. That's the problem here.
父さん。
ん？
アイス買ってきてくれた？バニ。
ああ、もちろん。
食べたいな。私ちょっと疲れちゃった。
And then she almost fell forward.
で、
Dotty managed to catch her before she hit the ground.
おい、鈴葉。
ごめん、平気。でも少しだけ休ませて。
Poor little Suzuha. All tuckered out. That was all she had the energy to say. She closed her eyes in her dad's arms and her consciousness melted away. See, every other time it said Itoru, but now it said her dad's. It just, kind of like, Alright, is it finally a new thing, or is it just like, oh, whoa. We're in July, so it must be a new thing, right? What? Okay, I think so. When July came, the sun shone down even harder on eastern Japan. Summer was truly here. Nope, this is a repeat as well. The news has been saying for days that the heat island effect might make this hotter summer in years. Make the hottest summer in years. And then, on the first Sunday in July, the arrivals lobby of the international terminal of Narita Airport was filled with foreigners and Japanese passengers returning home.
すごい人だね。どんどん増えてるかも。
So there is new parts. It was just that part was old. Wait, is that an old Faris? Is that an old Faris drawing that they just ported to this game, or is that a new one? It looks like an old one that they ported to this game, doesn't it? I don't know.
日曜日の空港を侮ってたにゃ。
No, maybe this has happened. I can't remember. Don't miss her, Mayuri, Faris. You know how tiny she is. Okay, this hasn't happened. We're picking up Maho. Cool. Okay, new stuff. I love new stuff. The three of us were waiting for someone here. I got a 9. Sorry, I can't go today. What do they do? Brown would just bother Hyojo. He had something to do. It's alright. I had to itch my nose. I hope I can see Maho before she leaves. I'll ask her how long she's staying and contact you later. Thank you. No problem. We've been there for almost an hour.
オカリン、今の問題発言は彼女に見つけざるを得ないぞ。
No, you can't. You can't, Faris. She'll be super mad. We've been in here for almost an hour? Wow. Please don't. It was a joke.
でもなかなか来ないね。
I know. Kind of weird, huh?
やっぱりサプライズでこっそり出迎えようとしたのが間違いだったのかにゃ。
We should have at least asked what time she was arriving. We hadn't told her that we were coming to greet her. And so all we knew was that she was arriving at Narita Airport on an afternoon flight. Oh, great. If I'd known we were going to have to wait so long, I would have tried to get the arrival time out of her. What if she's already come? There was a stream of passengers flowing by us, but no sign of the person we were waiting for. Just as I was starting to wonder if I missed her because she was so small, she finally appeared. Or more precisely, I saw a giant travel suitcase, rolling all by itself away from the gate. From behind it, I heard a voice I recognized.
まったくもうパスポートの偽造なんかしてないわ。何なのよ。毎回どの国へ行ってもいちいち調べられて時間がかかって仕方ないわ。
I walked up to the suitcase and gave it a pat. Yajo?
Huh?
Moha had been leaning forward and pushing the suitcase as hard as she could. Her mouth hung open when she saw me.
Huh?
It's been a while. Glad you were able to make it past customs.
あなた
You look really pale. You okay?
大丈夫に決まってそうじゃないわ。どうしてここに
You told me you were arriving this afternoon, right? So I decided to come in and surprise you.
そうなの？それはどうも
Are you embarrassed? For some reason, her voice became really weird the moment she saw me. Was my being here really that much of a surprise?
でも秋葉原駅までは行けるから改札口に迎えに来てくれればいいって言っておいたのに。
Yeah, but you know, we want to surprise you. Ah, come on. You come all this way, so it's the least I could do. Also, I'm not sure you can really get to Akihabara on your own.
失礼ね。私はそんなに頼りなくないわ。
Mayuri and Fetties came up as well. There's a guy behind Mayuri that you can't see right now, but he's checking his watch and he's dragging his suitcase behind him. But he's standing completely still. Why is he checking his watch? Apparently, he's not that good with time. He's behind, but yet he's standing completely still and not moving at all. A little weird to me. Mayuri and Fetties came up as well. That is... I love that sound. I love that sound. So good. So good.
And if you follow me on Twitch, you'll hear it.
Doo-doo-doo. As Mayuri grabbed Maha's hand, Fetties walked up and gave her a big hug.
マユリさんもフェイリスさんもお久しぶり。二人もわざわざ迎えに来てくれたのね。ありがとう。ちなみにこんな場所で大声でマホニャンと呼ぶのはやめてくれないかしら。
No, she definitely has to.
なんで？可愛いのに。周りを見なさい。みんなが笑っているでしょ。恥ずかしいのよ。にゃ。そうかにゃ。
Fetties really sticks out after all. While we've been waiting here, all the foreigners had been pointing at her and yelling, "Cat ears! Cat ears!" Someone even asked for pictures. Yes. Because all foreigners like to yell, "Cat ears! Cat ears!" Neko Mimi! Neko Mimi! Yajo, I'll take your luggage.
あ、いえ、ありがとう。
Still, this was a really sudden trip, wasn't it? It was only a few days ago that I found out she was coming. Are you here to help Dr. Lessian again?
あー、その。
Or did you come for me? Maho was fidgeting and glancing up at me.
岡部さんはデスキネン教授とはよく連絡を取り合っているの？
Yeah, he's still over here doing his research, right? Sometimes he invites me out to dinner. It's a big honor.
そう。まずいわね。
Do you know? Do you know? Bad? Why?
ああ、いえ、こっちの話よ。
Does she know? Does she? Or, okay, maybe either it's bad because she knows, and they didn't show us on this world line, which is awesome that they didn't show us that, because I think that's fantastic, because it's Okabe's perspective, so we shouldn't know. you know, I can go off on a whole rant of how I would like it to not have shown Maho's perspective of the thing, and instead us getting trapped by Dr. Leskinen, and having the question marks, and us being like, and us, it being a blacked out silhouette, and us not knowing who Leskinen was at that point in time, because he wasn't talking in his goofy voice, he was talking in like a serious voice. So it would have been nice at that point in time for us not to know Leskinen was a villain. It would have been really nice. And I think it would have been really great reveal, but they ruined it with Malho's perspective instead of having it as Okabe's perspective, who's the main character of the game. And I'm sure that's how they're going to do in the true ending, because they're saving their best for the true ending. But it was just, you know, it was a little... and everything. But either Maho knows, or she's just saying that because it's like, she, if Leskinen is around me, then Leskinen's going to know she's here, and that's going to be awkward. She really was acting weird. It wasn't like this when I saw her last winter. She tired from her trip? Jet lag. Or was seeing us here that much of a surprise?
今回は教授の手伝いではないの。沖縄の親類のところへ行く予定なのよ。
We're kind of like 2 hours. We're like really far away from Okinawa.
でもせっかくだからその前に秋葉原にも寄ってみようかと思って。
Okay, I was about to say. I see, Okinawa, huh? For a moment, the name of that place brought back visions of the nightmarish time. After I collapsed on Christmas, I was into another world, line where I'd spent a month fleeing to Okinawa.
いいね、沖縄。一度でいいから行ってみたいな。
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
マユシーの学校は修学旅行は沖縄じゃないのね。マユシーのところはね、北海道だったよ。
Yeah, I think it's Hokkaido, Kyoto, and Okinawa that are some big school trips in Japan. That's all my anime experience. I don't know if that's actually true or not. I'm just saying that's what it seems like, and I doubt they would have. Like, the thing is, like, there's like anime things that are like obviously not true, but then some things like in anime, like you have to be like, well, it's in like multiple anime, so you're just like, well, that has to be like, you know, that it's like, I'm talking about like the way like buildings look and the way that like the places like they may go or stuff like that, like certain stuff. Like, I'm not talking about like tsunderes and stuff like that. Obviously I know how humans act and all that, and but I'm sure like in traditions, like, you know, you can look them up and obviously they're the same that they have in like the anime. So I'm pretty sure like a lot of people are like, well, it's from an anime, so it's obviously not true. But like, I think some stuff in anime is true, because like, just like in American TV, although we have like a lot of, obviously people don't act like that in real life, they have a lot of stuff in our American TV that we actually do here, instead of, ha, I said do.
イギリスはハワイにゃん。うわー、海外だ。アロハ。
What happened? What happened? What just happened? Oh my god, guys, my computer is like crashing. My video card like reset. What the? Putting aside the girls and their talk of school trips. Okay, but that also like broke OBS, so let me just pause it for a second. Alright, so Hyacho, you're not staying in Tokyo that long?
そうね、そういうことになるわね。
Oh, she was planning on staying here for a while, but then she's like, well, since she came up with that story, you can't stay that long, huh?
秋葉原にいる間のホテルとかは決めてあるの。まだよ。これから安いビジネスホテルでも探すつもり。だったらこのままフェイリスのお家に来るといいにゃん。この前のお部屋自由に使ってもらって構わないにゃん。え？でもそんなの悪いわ。またそうやって遠慮するんやから。フェイリスは大歓迎だにゃん。
Aww.
だけどそんなに甘えるわけには。
So there shouldn't be any more stuff in the bad ending from now on. It doesn't seem like it. Not that I can think of. I don't think anything would happen, because I don't think Maho would choke me out or anything like that. So I think it should be all the good end from here on out. Should be, at least. I don't know, I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
うかにゃ。お部屋を無償で貸し出す代わりにフェイリスのお店でほんのちょっとだけお手伝いしてもらうのにゃ。
She does know the cafe you work at, right?
お店？
Yeah. Oh no.
メイクインニャンニャンだね。まさかそれってあの猫耳のお店？
We haven't seen Mayuri. Okay, they could have just ported her sprite in from the old game. I would have been completely fine with that. But we haven't seen Mayuri in her outfit at all this entire game, which is just, I don't know.
その通りにゃ。
Like, it isn't a big problem, but it was like, you know, we barely saw her in the old game in her outfit, but I mean, like, why not? Why not just show her just like at least one time? Like, why? Why not do it? It's just, it's not a thing of like, there's a reason you can be like, why do it? I guess, but like, why not? Like, it's not gonna impede on anything, and plus they've had multiple times where I think Mayuri was working at the same time, like, as they were in there, so I mean, why not just have her like pop out for a bit and be like, hey nya, blah blah blah, you know?
この時期は猫耳メイドのみんなはコミマの準備でいろいろ忙しいのにゃ。お休み取りたいって泣きついてくるんだにゃ。つまり深刻な猫耳メイド不足なのにゃ。なのにゃ。というわけで、
See, I
ハフにゃんどうかにゃ。
was about to say maybe like they needed to pay the voice actress more to talk like a cat, but Mayuri just talks like a cat right there, so.
どうかにゃ。お断りします。
No, wow.
なんでって当たり前でしょ。私に似合うわけないわ。似合うよ。絶対に可愛いと思うな、マユシーは。意義なしだにゃ。オカリもそう思うにゃ。
Yeah, I'm sure she'd get plenty of fans.
ファンなんてそんなお世辞は嫌いよ。
Yeah, they'd all be all about that lolicon. I'm not flattering you though.
だとしたら視力検査にでも行ってくることね。にゃにゃ、赤くなったにゃ。なってません。マホニャンはもっと自分の魅力に気づくべきだと思うにゃ。マユシーが男の子だったらキュンってしちゃうのです。
Aw.
だからそんなことないと言ってるのに。
Yeah, I mean, Maho is pretty much Super Saiyan 3, so I think you should, probably. I don't know how to say it. Put a little more effort into your appearance. Maybe. If you did, I'm sure you look more... I was trying my best to sound encouraging, but just ended up sounding like a real jerk. Of course, she was annoyed.
私は今のままで十分よ。研究が第一なんだから。
Sorry.
でもそれじゃあ好きな人とかできたらどうするのにゃ。相手大丈夫よ。そういう人なんてできないと思うから。
But you already
困っ
like...
たりしないわ。
But she already likes me, though. So, you know. She gave a sigh that was a little too deliberate.
ごめんなさい。時差ボケと飛行機の疲れでちょっと。わかるにゃ。時差ボケって結構辛いんだにゃ。リムジンを用意してあるからマフニャンは眠っていくといいにゃ。
Jet lag is because of the time shift, right? So if it's let's say it's a 24-hour time shift, is there a problem? Like, is there any like? I don't think actually you can have that. I don't know. Can you even have a 24-hour time shift? I think it's possible. I don't know. Like Hawaii to Japan, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what that means. But like, if it's a small, if it's like, I don't know. Jet lag is because of the time change, right? Because I don't see why you would get any like physical like tiredness just from being in a plane.
リムジン
Buddies had rented a white limo to pick up Maho. Sheesh. He really did go overboard. But thanks to that, my Eddie and I were able to enjoy its big comfy seats on the way to Narita Airport.
なんならフェリスが膝枕してあげるに
Whoa!
ゃそれともマユシーの膝がいいかな
Or mine.
マユシーは OK だよ
Wink.
結構よ。子供じゃあるまいし。
But I can tell you're really tired, though. Are you that busy with work?
それはまあ掛け持ちしているわけだから。
Time travel! Two projects? You're working on something besides Amadeus? She quickly put her hand over her mouth.
それは企業秘密なの。
I see. Sorry about that. It was true that American University Labs had a lot of stuff like that going on there. I'd heard there were a lot of industrial spies. If she wasn't careful about what she said, she might get fired. Or worse. It was a mistake on my part to even ask.
そういえば橋田さんは今日はどうしたの？
No. She did not. She did not. Did she say speaking of? She said come to think... No! He's doing the most important job of his life right now. Oh, is he going on a date with Yuki?
人生をかけた？
He's going on a date with Yuki.
タルくんは今デート中なんだよ
Oh, I knew it. Maho's shock was almost comical.
私本当に疲れているのね。
No, I can understand why you'd feel that way, but
本当にデートなのです
信じられない。嘘でしょ？あの変態が？
damn. He's the man helping you create a time machine. Even Maho was calling him a pervert. Dodu had said he was talking to Maho a lot too, and I could just imagine what their conversations were like. But actually, if Dodu didn't do his best today, it would ruin the world's entire chain of causality. In that sense, Dodu's date today was an event with universe-spanning implications. Oh no, not that date again. Please don't... Okay, if the date isn't changed, I'm going to flip out. I am going to absolutely flip out. I'm gonna... Oh my... Okay, tell you what. Spoil it for me if the date changes or not. Because I don't care, because I don't want to be extremely... I want to be extremely upset before I start recording, and not when it happens, if it's the same thing. So please do tell me if it changes or not, so either I can be happy or sad. This is the second time I'm telling you to spoil something for me. The first time was when I asked if Leskinen would get hit, and you guys said yes, and I'm very excited about that. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like if you enjoyed, subscribe for some more, and I will see you guys in the next video.